Okay, so today I'm going to be demonstrating the computer game Kai. This is the opening screen of Python Kai, which is the more modern port to Linux and Windows of the original game. You get a set of default levels with Python Kai that it loads when you first load the game, which basically introduce you to the elements of the game using some very simple scenarios. I'm not going to look at those. I'll let you use those if you need them to learn about how the game works. Instead, I'm going to demonstrate how things work by solving some real puzzles. Okay, so here we are in a proper Kai level. This is one that I wrote many years ago. The first thing to notice is this green blob, which is the Kai. This is you, the player. I can move around with the keyboard or the mouse. And the objective of the game is to collect these things. These are diamonds. They're blue and they're shiny, so we want them. Now there's a countdown in the status bar of how many diamonds are left, and the level is 1 and completed when you've taken all the diamonds. Those diamonds I could just take, so I've done that. These things to my right here are sliders. They move in the direction that the arrow points. At the moment I'm in the way, so they're not moving, but if I move, they follow me. And all these other sliders have moved as well as a result of that, and they've released this guy. This is a monster. This particular monster is called a spike because of its spiky appearance. And no, I've been killed. If you come into contact with a monster, you die. You have 3 lives. However, as you can see, once you've let a monster out, usually the lives aren't much use, because once the monster is free, it can chase you and kill you again. So I've lost all my lives. I have to restart the level. So taking those diamonds was a bad idea because it lets that spike out. Let's try solving something else in the level, see if we can make some more progress. Oops. These are also monsters. That's a twister and that's a blob. I've just boxed them into the corners of the room. These things in this room here, these round objects, are around us. Like the sliders, they move in the direction of the arrow, but they will bounce around corners. You see they cascade rather nicely there. If I push this guy off, you'll see him roll round these corners. There it goes. I can now take that diamond and retrieve this object. This is a sticky block, or as I prefer to call them, a magnet, because they actually pull things along from a distance. And I've been able to retrieve this object out of the room I solved earlier. This is a turning block. You can tell from the arrow on it. With a turning block, if a rounder or a slider runs into the turning block, it is turned through 90 degrees. In this case it's turned right by 90 degrees because the arrow is on the right. So I'm going to try something clever here. I'm going to release these rounders onto these turning blocks, and they're going to bury the spike that killed me earlier. There we go. So the spike is now trapped. Even when I trigger this sequence here, the spike can't escape. So I've been able to take these diamonds safely this time. So I've taken 5 diamonds in this level. There are still 6 remaining. But I'm now stuck at this level. I can't reach this diamond. This rounder wasn't here to begin with. It has fallen there when I opened this room, and I now won't be able to retrieve that diamond. So this game I'm not going to be able to win now. And also when I released these rounders down here, they blocked me getting into these 2 rooms for those 2 diamonds. So I've restarted, and let's see if I can do better on the 3rd attempt. Let's solve these rooms first. Hello. Right, thank you. I need to box these guys in against the left-hand wall so I can reach the diamond on the right there. And these, I just need to encourage them to go left into that other room, so I'm going to stand to the right and I can guide them in that direction. Now I've completed that corner of the map, I can use it as a dumping ground for these rounders, so as to keep them away from the puzzle I still have to solve up here. Let's quickly box these guys in again. We know how to beat these guys. This blob is being stubborn today. Time to move. There we go, careful. Right, so, whoops. So, I now have my turning block again, and I'm ready to tackle this, what is the main puzzle of this level. So, the elements of this puzzle are, this rounder here, when I open this room, will fall through here and bounce around this other rounder and land there, which blocks the diamond, as we saw a moment ago. However, if I open this, if I take these diamonds, I release the spike, which can kill me. If I take these diamonds though, this row of sliders will fall down, so when I release this one, it will land there instead of there, which means I can take that diamond. So Kai is kind of a hybrid of a puzzle game and an arcade game. Mostly I'm treating it as a puzzle game, because I'm sitting around thinking about the puzzles. On the other hand, there is stuff evolving in real time, monsters are moving around, and the sliders move in real time. I can interact with things in real time as they're moving around, but in practice most of the time I'm just I'm triggering things and waiting for things to happen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trigger both of these things at once. I'm going to release these, which moves that rounder down by one and releases the spike, but quickly release these as well to bury the spike before he gets out. And there we go. So the spike is trapped, but because I did this trap first, I'm still able to get that diamond. Okay, 8 diamonds done, 3 to go. The 3 remaining diamonds are in this area down here. Here's a small puzzle. I need to release this slider, but I don't want it to fall into the doorway because I won't be able to get out afterwards. So I need to give it something to fall against. It's nice and easy. This puzzle I won't really attempt to explain. It's really one you have to solve by trial and error. If I were tackling this level for real, if I didn't already know the answer, I would have come down here and solved this one first. I'd be stuck in here, so I would have to restart the level, but I would have solved this one first just to work out how to do it. And then I would have known the answer ready for the final attempt, which is what I've just done. So that's one I solved earlier, if you like. And this is the final diamond. Because it's the last one, I don't have to worry about getting out of this room. I can just grab it. Okay, so I completed that level, and each set of levels in Kai, there are many levels. This is the next level. I won't attempt this one because it's a bit more hard work, and there's less to show you of the elements of the game. If you want more levels to play, there are levels on my website, ones that I wrote, and there's a site called My Kai Page, which has the levels you would receive with the registered version of Kai, and also a number of other levels that have been written for the game over the years. There are quite a lot of levels available for it. A good one for beginners to try is default.kai, which was the default set of levels that came with the shareware version of Kai. That's a fairly good introduction for beginners, but it's a little more puzzle oriented than my introduction, which focuses on just showing you the game elements. And the other thing I should note finally is that I'm demonstrating here using the shareware tile set. These are the graphics that the original shareware Kai used. Python Kai by default, which is what most of you on Linux will be using these days. The tile set that I supply with that is one that I designed myself, because Richard Stallman would hunt me down if I used the copyrighted graphics from the shareware version. Okay, I hope you found that a useful introduction to the game.